We are living in the golden age of home coffee, but we are also living in the golden age of marketing. If you search for best espresso machine right now, you will be bombarded with thousands of 5-star reviews, influencer endorsements, and slick Instagram ads. They promise you cafe-quality coffee at the push of a button. But here is the uncomfortable truth that most reviews won't tell you. A huge portion of the price tag on popular machines isn't going into the engineering. It is going into the marketing budget. I have analyzed the technical specifications, the repairability, and most importantly, the in-cup results of the most popular machines on the market. And the results are shocking. Some of the best-selling machines on Amazon are actually objectively worse than machines that cost half the price. Today, we are going to look past the shiny chrome and the paid sponsorships. I am going to expose the 5 most overrated espresso machines you should avoid. I will explain exactly why they fail from a technical perspective. And for every bad machine, I will give you a superior alternative that respects your wallet and your taste buds. Let's start with the machine that appears in every aesthetic kitchen tour on social media. The Smeg ECFO2. On the surface, it is undeniable. It has that iconic 1950s retro design, the heavy chrome logo, and the pastel colors that look perfect on a countertop. But as a coffee tool, this machine represents the worst kind of value proposition. The design tax. When you open up the casing of this $500 machine, you are met with a disappointment. The internal components, the pump, the heating block, and the group head are nearly identical to machines that cost $150. You are paying a 300% markup strictly for the plastic shell. Technically, the machine relies on what we call pressurized portafilters. Instead of using the pressure generated by the coffee puck itself, the machine forces water through a tiny hole in the basket. This creates artificial aeration. That foam on top of your shot isn't rich, delicious crema. It is just coffee bubbles. It disappears in seconds and adds zero texture to the drink. Furthermore, the steam wand is a relic. It is a Pennarello-style wand, which injects large air bubbles into the milk. It makes stiff, dry cappuccino foam, but it makes it nearly impossible to get that silky, wet paint texture needed for latte art. If you have $500 to spend, do not buy a decoration. Buy the Breville Bambino, plus the difference in engineering is massive. While the Smeg takes nearly a minute to warm up its outdated boiler, the Bambino uses a thermojet heating system that is ready to brew in exactly 3 seconds. But the real game changer is the steam wand. It has an automatic temperature sensor. You put your milk jug underneath, press a button, and it automatically textures the milk to the perfect microfoam consistency for you. It creates legitimate cafe-quality milk that the Smeg simply cannot produce. It is smaller, faster, smarter, and costs the same price. Number 2 is going to upset a lot of people. It is the Breville Barista Express. For the last 10 years, this has been the default recommendation for beginners. And 5 years ago, it was a great choice. But in 2025, it is a trap. The Barista Express is an all-in-one machine. It combines the espresso brewer and the grinder into a single unit. This sounds convenient, but it introduces a critical flaw. The grinder is the weak link dot to make great espresso. You need stepless or micro-step adjustment on your grinder. You need to be able to make tiny changes to the particle size. The grinder built into the Barista Express has very large steps. Here's the common scenario. You set the dial to number 5. And the water rushes through too fast, the espresso is sour. You move 1 click to number 4, and suddenly it chokes the machine, nothing comes out. The perfect setting is technically 4.5, but the machine doesn't let you go there. This leads to dialing in hell, where you waste half a bag of expensive coffee just trying to get a drinkable shot. Also, consider long-term reliability. The grinder is the part of an espresso setup that takes the most abuse. If the grinder motor burns out in the Barista Express, your entire machine is now broken. You are stuck with a giant paperweight. The smart move is the modular approach. Instead of the all-in-one, buy the base model Bambino and pair it with a dedicated grinder like the Baratza Encore. The total cost is roughly the same. However, the Baratza Encore ESP is a dedicated tool with 40 distinct grind settings. It uses the M2 burr set, which produces a much more uniform grind profile, leading to sweeter, clearer espresso dot, and the best part? If you want to upgrade your grinder in 3 years, you can. You aren't married to the built-in unit. You have better coffee today and a better upgrade path for tomorrow. Number 3 is a legend. The Rancilio Silvia. This machine is built like a tank. It uses commercial-grade brass, heavy steel, and a massive boiler. It will likely outlive you. But using it in 2025 is a nightmare. The Silvia uses technology that was standard in the 1990s. Specifically, it uses a simple bimetallic thermostat to control the boiler temperature. This results in massive temperature swings. The water might be 105 degrees Celsius one moment, which burns the coffee, and drop to 85 degrees 2 minutes later, which makes it sour. To get a good shot, users have to perform a ritual called temperature surfing. You have to flush water, watch the orange light turn on, wait for it to turn off, count to 30 seconds, and then brew. It is a guessing game. You are fighting the machine every single morning just to get a consistent result. Why struggle with dinosaur technology when modern engineering has solved this problem? The alternative is the Breville Infuser. Think of this as the smart choice. It solves the Silvia's biggest problem: temperature instability. The Silvia relies on a dumb thermostat from the 90s. The Infuser uses a PID controller. It monitors the water temperature digitally to ensure every shot is brewed at the exact right heat. No surfing. No guessing. It also includes a pressure gauge right on the front, so you know exactly if your grind is right. And the best part? It removes the one thing we hated about the Barista Express, the built-in grinder. You aren't paying for a grinder you won't use. You are paying for a precise, temperature-stable machine that is ready to brew in 60 seconds, not 20 minutes. Number 4 covers the world of super automatics. These are the bean-to-cup machines that grind and brew for you. The most popular one is the Philips 3200 Latego. People buy this because they want convenience. They accept that the coffee won't be quite as good as a manual machine, but they expect it to be decent. Unfortunately, the Philips struggles to reach even that bar. The core issue is the ceramic flat burr grinder and the brewing unit design. The grinder struggles to grind fine enough for true espresso extraction. Because the grind is too coarse, the water passes through the puck too quickly. The result is a shot that lacks body. It is thin, watery, and harsh. The crema it produces is often just aerated foam created by a valve, not the emulsified oils of the coffee bean. If you drink dark roasts with lots of milk and sugar, you might not mind. But if you drink black coffee or traditional macchiatos, this machine will disappoint you every morning. If you absolutely need the convenience of a robot, look at the DeLonghi Magnifica EVO. Uses a conical steel burr grinder and a superior brewing unit that can compress the coffee puck much tighter than the Philips. This allows for a finer grind and a slower extraction. The difference in the cup is night and day. The DeLonghi produces a shot with actual viscosity and rich texture. It costs roughly the same, but the engineering inside the black box is simply better at making coffee. Finally, we reach number 5. This is the machine that is probably in your hotel room or your office right now. The Nespresso Vertuo. This is the evolution of coffee. It reads a barcode on the capsule and spins it at 7,000 rotations per minute. It promises a massive mug of coffee with a huge head of foam. But this machine is arguably the worst product Nespresso has ever released. First, let's talk about reliability. Search Vertuo next red light on Google and you will find a graveyard of dead machines. The complex spinning mechanism is notorious for failing just outside the warranty period. It is a disposable appliance designed to break. Second, the coffee itself. This machine does not use pressure to brew. It uses centrifugation. It literally spins the coffee into a frenzy. That giant layer of foam on top, that is not crema. It is aerated coffee foam. It is bitter, dry, and full of air bubbles. It tastes nothing like a true espresso. And finally, the DRM trap. The pods for this machine are patented. You cannot buy cheaper third-party capsules at the supermarket. You are locked into buying expensive pods directly from Nespresso for the rest of the machine's life. You are buying a printer that only accepts $80 ink cartridges. If you absolutely want the convenience of pods, buy the older Nespresso Essenza Mini. It uses the original line capsules. These machines use actual pressure pumps, not spinning. They are built like tanks and never break. And crucially, you can buy cheap capsules from almost any brand at your local grocery store. It is cheaper, reliable, and the espresso is objectively superior. So, what have we learned? We've learned that a higher price tag doesn't mean better espresso. We've learned that convenience often comes at the cost of quality. If I lost all my equipment today and had to start my coffee journey over with $500, I would not buy a super automatic. And I certainly would not pay for a retro logo. I would buy the Value King modular setup, the standard Breville Bambino, paired with the Barista Encore ESP and a simple $20 coffee scale. This combination gives you commercial pressure, instant heating, and high-precision grinding. It allows you to make espresso that truly rivals your local cafe, something the other machines on this list can only dream of. Invest in better tools, not better marketing. I have listed this exact setup in the description below so you can find the best current prices. Thanks for watching and enjoy your coffee.